All right, so let's start with the garlic. So you have 3 cloves, and we're just going to mince them up. And I'm going to go for smaller pieces rather than larger pieces. All right, so here we go. Got 3 cloves of minced fresh garlic. All right, so next up is the onion. First, we'll slice off the ends here. And what I like to do to start out is to slice about halfway through. Put a few slices in, like so. And kind of a tic-tac-toe kind of thing. So that when you actually go ahead and start slicing the onion, it already kind of automatically dices. That's just a little bit of a time saver. All right, so next up are scallions. You see they usually come with the Einstein hairdo here. I'll just give them a trim. Now, usually in recipes, you'll often have the direction to separate the whites from the greens. But in this case, I'm planning to use the whites as well as the greens for the garnish. So we'll not be separating them. Again, I put them all together to chop them at the same time. I think it makes them a little more choppable. That's a word. And there's our scallions. All right, so now on to the main event. I'm going to make the meatballs. So first we'll add some pepper and salt. I like to do pepper first. I somehow convinced myself that doing the pepper first, I add a little bit less salt. Then I add the garlic in right away. We are not going to skimp on the garlic. We are going to add every possible piece of minced garlic we can find in this little cup. So I want to put the garlic, I want to mix in the garlic first so that it gets mixed more thoroughly with the meat as opposed to mixing the garlic pieces in, with all the other ingredients. So next up, we'll add the breadcrumbs. Now I usually add about 3/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs. And I'm going to add some grated Parmesan cheese. And I usually add about a quarter of a cup of that grated Parmesan cheese. And then that's looking a little dry, so let's put an egg on that. All right, and so last up, I'm going to mix in the onion. Now, I have quite a bit of onion here, so I believe I'm just going to maybe use about half of this in the meat mixture. I don't want to overdo the onions. I'm going to roll them. I don't want them too big, but I don't want them like small, like little Swedish meatballs either. So kind of in the middle there, kind of enough so that they fit in the palm of my hand. So what did I get? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got 12 out of that mix. Put in some olive oil. I probably put in more than I should, but that's, just what I do. Olive oil and garlic, my two weaknesses. And we'll just let that warm up for a little bit more. All right, so we're going to add the meatballs into the pan. Just kind of roll them in here. All right, it's simmering a little bit. It's the sound I want to hear. I'm often impatient, and so sometimes I don't let the pan warm up enough, but I think it's all right. And we're going to let them cook for about 4 minutes on each side or surface of the meatball, and I'm going to roll them about every 4 minutes. So usually let them cook and roll maybe about 12 minutes. That's like maybe 3 turns, maybe 4 turns. All right, that's about 4 minutes. Let's give them a little spin. You want to roll, I like to say, roll to the pink. And I'm going to make use of these onions that we had left over. I'm going to kind of saute them a little bit. But for the red sauce today, I'm going to use a tomato basil. Whatever your favorite jar of tomato sauce is, we'll do whatever your taste is. And then, in addition, I'm going to add in 1 little can of Goya. Has some. This one has some Spanish-style spices in it, just to spice up the sauce a little bit, not a lot. And I'm also going to add a couple of bay leaves. Yeah. But the thing I do next, though, is I let these meatballs simmer in the red sauce, because I've noticed, even though they look, thoroughly cooked on the outside, usually the very inside may remain a little pink when they're just pan fried like this. So I'll let them simmer for, maybe 20, 30 minutes. Always put some salt in the water. Make our pasta with salted water. And then I add a little bit of canola oil or vegetable oil. I don't use olive oil for this, but I like to put in a little bit of oil in the water. That tends to help the pasta not to stick together so much. So we just let this boil for about 9 to 10 minutes, and then we'll put it together. All right, so here's our pasta, here's our meatballs, here's our garnish. So let's plate up this entree and have a little meal.